Fringe Fanatics with Chad Lee and Chris Zane.
And we are back. It is episode, is it 42 now?
42.
42 of Fringe Fanatics. I am Chris Zane.
And I am Chad Lee, and this is the Jackie Robinson episode.
The Jackie Robinson episode. If we were wearing jerseys, they would both have the number 42 on them.
No doubt.
That's what we do.
Got to pay respects.
Yes, sir. Broke the color barrier.
That's
Will
right.
always be one of the best, one of the greatest.
Chris, how the hell are you, man?
Oh, Chad. I'm hanging in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, hanging in there. This
Probably
week,
a long day at work, huh?
long day at work.
I can
Yeah,
imagine.
we were a little short-handed, and it was hot out.
Yeah.
But we got her done, you know?
That's all you got to do.
We'll
Just
get her done.
grit your teeth and get through it.
Grit your teeth and bear it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm here. We're recording a little bit late, but you know what? It's going to be a shorter episode. We did say that last week, and it was not a shorter episode at all.
Came out
it was
a little
one
over
of the longest, actually.
2
So,
hours, but you
yeah.
know, when I listened to it, it went by pretty fast, so.
Yeah, and it is sad. We are narcissistic enough, and also we kind of have to still listen to the show because we have no help. It's just me and Chad, so we have to listen back and make sure what we need to highlight from the show. Unfortunately, this week I was so busy, I did not have time to actually make a clip, but I'm going to make it up this week, people. We got clips, at least 2 to 3.
We're going to get some highlights from
Yeah,
this episode.
there's going to be
I
2
got
to
a
3 at
feeling.
least. But yeah, we are going to keep cruising along, Chad. How was your weekend, though? You're
My
bashing
weekend
it again.
Well, that started on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
Up until that point, Hannah and I had some good QT time. Just chilling, watching movies. We watched the John Wick 4 movie.
How was it?
It was very over the top. I was very excited about it for a long time, but then like halfway in it, I'm
It
like,
was too much.
man, because there was a podcast that the maker of it did. His name's actually Chad too. I can't remember his last name.
Fucking Chads.
Yeah, but you know they make movies for guys,
Yeah,
and
they
man,
do.
he even said on this podcast, he was like, "Well, since it was the 4th one, you know, we just figured, you know, why not? Let's just go all out, put out like
I feel
go
like they've
through all
been
the
doing
stuff."
that for every one.
You would think so, but this one, they really like. At one point, I'm like, okay, let's just wrap this up.
Yeah.
Like, come on,
It's like
you know?
Fast and the Furious, where like they're jumping cars and flying them from
Yeah.
building to building, and you're just like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Helicopter, they're flying cars and
It's
helicopters.
pretty ridiculous. I mean, they're stopping bullets with a suit. You know, it's
Oh, and John Wick they are?
oh, they started doing that in like the 1st or 2nd movie.
Oh, but they have that cool secret society though. Or...
Yeah, and it's a badass movie, no doubt, and everything. But it's just like that's what's great is like you could tell, no spoilers, whatever. Or if you want to fast forward through this part, we don't have to worry about it becoming like a Fast and the Furious franchise where it's just going to keep on going. Where this is maybe, possibly, probably the last one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we think they are doing that show. I heard,
Yeah.
or maybe it's already out, where it's
The-
like about the beginnings.
No, it comes out in August, I believe. It's called The Continental.
It's
Yeah.
about the hotel where they
And
all
it's-
go for their hits.
Yeah,
stuff.
and it's kind of cool because I think it is set in time like in the 60s or something. So kind of different.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, on Sunday and then Saturday, I watched those UFC fights, so had a good time doing that.
Yeah, I had all intentions of watching those fights, but
Life
I
catches
had
up
a
to you.
long weekend. Yeah, Friday night, Meryl was doing some tarot readings at our buddy's tattoo shop over off 38th, basically in Tennyson, called Live Easy. They do a First Friday thing. They have a First Friday walk all down Tennyson. It was a weird night, though. I felt like there was a lot of people. Granted, like there wasn't a shitload of people hanging out in the shop. Whenever there was more people hanging out in the shop, people were more apt to come in. But when it was just like 3 or 4 of us hanging out bullshitting, they're like, "Oh, what's going on in there?" Because it's like a very nice tattoo shop. And
Oh,
I was
wow.
like, I do feel like maybe it's so nice that like when there's not a lot of people in here, people are like, "Oh, like."
It feels
Something's
weird.
going on in
Yeah.
there, like, you know. But it ended up being pretty cool. Meryl was doing readings. I can't remember the name of the place right now. I'll have to look it up real quick. But she was doing readings. She does it every Friday down. It's like the oldest, like mystic shop in Denver.
Yeah.
And she was doing that during the day, and then she went there and she got like one reading right out of the gate, and then there was like 2 people. One people came in, like a couple came in not a couple, but like a couple people came in. I thought they were a couple at first, but then the chick's boyfriend showed up, or her husband showed up later. But they were like, we're just gonna get tattoos, and I was like, nobody's tattooing tonight. Like, it was weird. I already like went back in a tattoo shop manager mode. Like, I was like reading all the people coming in and shit. Like, old habits are hard to break. But yeah, like they were like, oh yeah, we were just like hoping to get tattoos, and I was like, well, unfortunately, we're not doing tattoos tonight. But I was like, there is tarot readings in the back. And the girl's like, ooh, tarot readings?
Oh, shit.
And she ended up getting a tarot reading.
Sweet.
And then her husband, which I thought the dude that was with her was her husband or boyfriend.
Okay.
Her husband showed up later and got the reading with her. But I like hustled 2 readings for Meryl. And I was just like, dude, you just need me hanging out there.
Exactly.
Hustling.
You're like a natural salesman,
Hustling.
man. That's why you do the intro to this. And we're back and all that. Because you just have that type
naturally
of vibe.
happened. That just was organic.
You remind me of that movie, The Goods. You're just like, come on down. We got cars for sale.
that movie, I've only seen it a couple times, but it is super underrated. Like, Will Ferrell's fucking part is so good. Like, when he dies dressed as Abe Lincoln, falling out of that plane with all the dildos.
It's funny you say that because we just rewatched it like probably less than a month ago.
Although Jeremy Piven now.
Is he in trouble again?
I think he's been in trouble for a while. He knows he hasn't been around for a bit.
Yeah, he hasn't been in anything. But it is an underrated movie. It's good.
Yeah.
But
very good.
You do have that car salesman type of personality.
Yeah. Meryl always said I could start a cult or be a politician.
Well,
I got tattoos, though, so I eradicated one of those already. So basically, I got to start a cult. So,
well, I've got the substance.
If you guys are looking for a leader, by all means, he's right here.
I'll be your right-hand man. I'll pass out all the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or just the shots that are laced with something. Speaking of which, I mean, that was about it for my weekend. Saturday, I worked a bunch, and then I had all the intentions of actually watching the fights. And I started watching one prelim, and then I just passed out, and then I woke up at like 9 or so, and I was just like, I'm just going to go to bed. There's no point.
Yeah.
And then Sunday, did a bunch of shit around the house again, and then... I had all the intentions of working on the show and getting a bunch more of the bumpers done. We got one done, which you guys will hear here in a bit. We're excited about it. It's always fun. This makes the show funner for us.
Fuck yeah.
It should make the show funner for you.
We're going to keep adding them.
Indeed. We have more. I've got a couple already just ready to go. I just got to finish them. But let us get this show on the road. Oh, before we do, one thing I've been meaning to mention. We have our first sponsored athlete.
Are you talking about Jason?
I am talking about Jason.
Oh, sweet. I've been wondering where you're at in this all.
Well, we're not technically sponsors.
Yeah.
I'm saying we're sponsors. We're giving him no money. But he does have our sticker on his race graphics. He is racing in the 450B Vet B class. So it's like it's a little bit older because obviously when dirt biking in terms of age, if you're in your 30s, you're like older.
Teenagers are when they get.
And he was, I think, racing an A at one point. I need to get an update. He did win a race 2 weekends ago. But yeah, he's basically rocking the Fringe Fanatics logo on his back fender.
Well, let's tell people where they could go if they're into supercross or motocross.
He does. It's mainly motocross. It's mostly outside. He has done a few supercross races.
Okay.
He races all over Colorado, though.
Okay.
Probably the closest to the Denver metro area. They do have one at the Erie track, and then there is the other one that is right out by Bandamere, which will soon be going away. There's I forget the name of the fucking track. It's just a little bit north of Bandamere over there on the right-hand side of 470. They race there too. But yeah, I mean, we'll share a little bit of his stuff. I might cut this clip just to kind of...
Well, yeah, and we'll keep everybody updated on his progress and how he's doing. And hopefully we can get some video of his... racing, and we'll put that out.
Yeah, I do have a picture of our logo on his back fender, so we need to post that.
That's cool.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. So we're going to milk that for all it's worth.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Good luck to you, Jason.
Yes, indeed. Good luck and stay safe.
Yeah, break a leg.
One of the buddies from his work just broke his pelvis at like one of the races 2 weekends
ago. Dude, the injuries from that sport are fucking gnarly.
Yeah, man. You get fucked up.
Yeah.
I broke my tailbone once riding dirt bikes.
The old coccyx?
The old coccyx.
Man,
Yeah.
can't break that.
No,
Need
you don't
it.
want it. There's really nothing they can do. They're just like, that sucks.
Here's a cushion to sit on.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all you can do.
Cool.
Yeah, I got a long
Thank you.
scar one time. You can't really see it anymore, but I had broken the clutch handle off of my dirt bike,
Oh.
and then went over the top of it, and it just went
Just grated your hand
right
open.
through here. It looked like I just was
Filleted
almost
your
crucified
fucking-
or something. Man, it was nuts.
Stigmata.
Yeah. Hey, I'm thirsty, man. I'm ready to do this
I am
shot.
too. I've been drinking my mics as usual, but
Yeah.
here's the episode 42, man.
42.
We're getting close.
We are. 50 is going to be a big deal.
Yeah, 50.
Maybe we'll have
well,
to-
52 is going to be a big deal. That's the show's birthday.
52.
52 weeks. That's a year.
Yeah. That is
You
true.
just made me feel like I made up math again.
I know,
Because the
dude.
other week
I
I
was
was like,
like,
there's 17 episodes
the
to
big-
52.
I kept thinking, I was like, what's significant about 52? And I was like, oh,
It's
that
one
would be
year,
a
man.
year.
Yeah, it's one fucking year of
Yeah.
doing this. And we've only missed, what, 1 week?
Yeah.
I
No, I
think.
think that's pretty much it. You know, I think there
We've
might
always
have-
made it up
yeah.
more than often than not. I think there's just 1 week we missed. So
We
yeah.
might have to hit up State House and see if we could do a live episode or something. That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
I got
or
some-
Don's.
Yeah.
Don's.
Yeah, I know Don's would have us.
But yeah, that would be cool for
Yep.
the 52.
We got stuff in the works, guys.
Yep. As always.
Cheers
So
to you,
here's the
brother.
stuff in the works. Here's to you guys as always. Thank you for tuning in and cheers. Speaking of which,
Good old J-Mo.
if you are listening or watching, whatever you're listening or watching us on, please like and follow us and rate us 5 stars. That helps us so freaking much. And also like, share, subscribe, and follow us on all things social media at Fringe_Fanatics. Chad, let us get into the headlines.
Let's get to the headlines, buddy.
Yep.
All right, we're going to start with NFL. You actually have a couple of news. I don't have anything
Yeah,
on
Chad
the
had
NFL.
nothing for the NFL. There really wasn't much. I just found a few, one feel-good story and one funny story, I guess.
Yeah, I'm glad
But-
you brought up the funny one. I
Yeah.
want to talk about that.
So we'll start out with the feel-good one. Jags sign tight end Josh Peterson, son of head coach Doug Peterson. A month after his season for the USFL Gamblers ends, I guess I forgot that the USFL was happening. I remember that it started around the same time or right after the XFL ended, but I guess the season's over.
Yeah,
It ended a
I
month
had
ago.
no idea.
So. But anyways, Doug Peterson's son was playing tight end for the Gamblers, and now he is a tight end for the Jaguars. So a little bit of a feel-good story.
Kind of nepotism there a little
A
bit,
little
too.
bit of nepotism.
That pays to have your dad as a coach.
yeah.
I've seen that ever since I was in Little League.
Wonder if he'd have a place on a team if it wasn't for that.
I doubt it.
Probably.
We'll have to see how he plays out.
Yeah.
Who was their tight end last year? Now I'm trying to think.
Didn't they have Evan Ingram?
It came as soon as you said it, man, because that dude balled out a few games, man.
And he's still there. I think they
He's
re-signed him.
Kind of he's almost more of a receiver. Evan Ingram's a baller.
Yeah, like a Darren Waller type.
Yeah.
Although he did not have, he had like one good breakout season. I think it was like his first or second season with New York, and then he just fell off there.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was him and Danny Dimes didn't have a connection or what, but
Yeah, I mean, it was
something happened.
Danny, he's not your prolific 300-yard passer, but
Chad, he's making $40 million a year. He's fucking prolific, okay?
way overpaid, man. Way overpaid.
I think that's the going rate now, unfortunately.
Let's get to this other story. I'm excited.
Yeah,
about
this one's
one.
fun. This one's going to cut deep for Chad Lee over there.
Not so much.
We can all sleep a little bit easier now, knowing that Chiefsaholic has been arrested. He was arrested on Friday in California. He spent months on the run and was atop the FBI's most wanted list.
Yeah.
This guy robbed, apparently, so they know so far, 6 banks. And also like up to like over $800,000. Everybody was wondering because the guy didn't really have any work history. He doesn't really have like a job where you could travel to literally every single Chiefs game and sit like he sits like right
Front
in
row.
the front.
Yep.
Those are multiple $1,000 tickets, and then not to mention travel.
Well, he got charged with money laundering too. So whatever
Yeah.
he was doing, he was laundering that money. So apparently, he's kind of wise and trying to make clean money. But dude, I don't know how he got away with this. It is not the wild, wild west where you go in there, give me all your money.
Well, it's still up for debate as to whether or not I've heard multiple stories that he was robbing the bank in the wolf suit.
Well,
and
no,
then I heard that he wasn't.
I
So,
saw
I don't
photos, and he was dressed up just as like with like a big hoodie on. I don't believe it was in the wolf suit. Maybe a few of them he was, but here's the news that I want to get to. In my speculation,
Dude, where's the tinfoil hat? We need to make the fucking tinfoil hat. God damn it!
Because we know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
When do the Raiders sign him? Once you get arrested, that's when you get on the Raiders.
It's usually after they sign you or drafted by him. Then you kill somebody and get arrested.
Or
usually.
get a DUI or do something bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, they got to be looking at him.
Flash a gun on TikTok. Jaw.
I mean, he's pretty good with money. maybe they make him as an accountant.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sure the Raiders are looking
in the front
into
office.
It. Yeah. We'll see. But it's a good thing he was caught. Doesn't cut deep because I do not support bank robbers.
Yeah, well, I just think that it's a general reflection of Chiefs fans as a whole. So.
Now that is a tinfoil hat take. I don't believe so.
I don't know. We'll see. But we'll let you get us into the NBA. That's where we're going to head next. We're going to hit the NBA up. Chad's got something for us, I believe.
I do have a couple of things.
He's got two. Maybe three. Some people consider,
just two.
Or a thruple. That's what we should call it whenever it's three.
Yeah, maybe.
Thruple.
The first thing is Portland says they're willing to wait months to resolve the Dame saga if necessary. And to me, that's pretty important news because we all thought, like, I've kind of been waiting on the news at any day that he's going to go to Miami. But what Miami's willing to give Portland doesn't want. And so Dame doesn't want to go anywhere other than Miami. So
we have the old fashioned Mexican standoff, if you will.
We do. That is a good word for it because I don't think this
we
is
might not be able to say
anywhere.
that. Maybe you have to say it to make that okay. I don't know anymore.
Dude, we're fine. Yeah, we don't have Roseanne on right now. I think we're okay.
This is poor Theo.
Yeah, right. That episode was awesome.
Yeah, I did not listen to it. But
it's on Twitter.
They're yeah. I don't know what's going to happen here. Obviously, like, he says, I'm not going anywhere other than Miami, and Miami has nothing that the Trailblazers want. So what's going to happen?
I mean, one of the sides is going to have to cave in
eventually, but I mean, they could just be like, no.
Yeah. I mean,
nah.
I could see
well,
that.
you know what? We're going to have to pay you anyway, so nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
You know, I could see that happening. I mean, they were like, all right, we drafted Scoot Henderson. Make it work with him.
Yeah. Run the team without, just pretend he's not there because he ain't, and we'll deal with that on the back end. Yeah, it's a weird thing for sure. I don't know what the outcome's going to be. Obviously, it's become a pissing match, and it's going to come down to who finishes pissing first.
Yeah.
And
I mean, dude, he's given
the players
Portland's
have all the rights.
Yeah.
They have all the upper hand in the NBA.
And that's what I was going to get at is, like, he's done so much for that franchise. He is the best Trailblazer in history. I mean, and that's even saying something above a great player like Clyde Drexler.
Bill Walton.
I mean, both of those guys were great, but you look at Dame's career, he is the best Trailblazer. They just need to say thank you for what you've given us. We're going to let you know. The same thing what the Chiefs did with Tony Gonzalez. You know, obviously he's not going to win a championship there in Portland. Let him try to get one.
Yeah.
Yep.
On the other news in terms of signings and such, the Detroit Pistons, the only reason I'm bringing this up is because of what little factoid will come at the end, but the Detroit Pistons and Isaiah Stewart agreed to a 4-year, $64 million rookie extension. The crazy thing about this is the first rookie extension since new owner Tom Gores, I think. It's either Gores or Gores, Gores.
Gores sounds kind of cool.
Gores sounds cooler. Took over in 2011. So
wow.
12 years ago was the last time they had a rookie extension. And the one before that... that was when he took over, and the first one since John Maxiell in 2008. So they literally have not signed a rookie to a rookie extension in what is it, 15 years?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah, they've been bad.
That
for
just
a long
lets you
time.
know that you're not good at developing talent whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, they really haven't been good ever since those years where, you had Rasheed Wallace, Tayshaun Prince,
Yeah.
Chauncey Billups. Like,
Chauncey!
ever since that team got blown up, like,
Yeah, we
they
got
haven't been
Chauncey
shit.
from the Pistons.
Yep, that's right.
Good old Chauncey.
All right, well, the other news we got is what everybody's talking about. I mean, I wanted to put a disclaimer in there. We don't like to talk about Summer League, but this is Victor Wembanyama. It's just in the news. And his first game, everybody was kind of dogging him. He didn't have that great of a game. But people forget, he had 5 blocks in that game.
Yeah, he did have 5 blocks. He did not have a very good shooting night. I think he was like 2 of 14 or
Yeah,
something like
didn't
that.
shoot very
Terrible
good.
shooting night.
But if anybody had 3 blocks in a game, they'd be like, oh, wow. Man, that's
Yeah,
pretty
3
good.
blocks in the NBA, that gets you Defensive Player of the Year. Ask Jaren Jackson.
If you average it, yeah. If you average
ask
3
Jaren
blocks a
Jackson.
year. Yep. Obviously, the rules in Summer League are a little different. You get 10 fouls, which is...
Oh, that's wild. I did not know that.
Yeah, Ochai Agbaji, the old Jayhawk, he fouled out the other day when
They're
you
like,
even
dude.
get 10 fouls.
Dude, it's hard to foul out with 6.
Yeah. So it's like, why don't they just... It's like what we talk about with college. Why don't they just play the same
fucking
rules?
play the normal...
Like,
What
is
did
this?
those extra fouls do aside from teach you to keep doing the same
Just- yeah,
fucking stupid
you're
thing?
going to be like, oh,
Yeah.
what? The NBA has 6? What the fuck? Now I'm
That's
not used to
stupid.
it.
Uh,
But he did in the next game have 27 points.
Yep.
I don't remember the rest
12
of the stats.
rebounds.
12 rebounds. Yeah, he
I don't know the
looked
rest
a
of
little
the stats, but
better. Yep. And then the Spurs shut him down.
Yeah, I guess after the game, he went to the post-game presser and kind of was like alluded to the fact that there might be some changes coming. He was going to have a meeting with Pop, and he just wanted to do whatever's best for the team, and he didn't want to be a distraction, and blah, 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 blah. So they effectively shut him down until the regular season. So
Probably a smart move.
when I first heard it, and like they were all very like cryptic about it, I assumed that maybe he was injured. I don't know,
Oh, I think it was
but I think it's just it's a lot to come. Like the dude's already a pro in France, but to come here and be like, oh, like you are, dude, he had Britney Spears jump on his back over the weekend.
Crazy.
Like that's not something that happens over there.
Yeah.
You know
the
what I mean?
fact that was said in a headline, like I got an ESPN headline that says charges will not be filed in this, where a security guard had to throw off Britney Spears.
Yeah.
Where if you haven't seen her, in the
I guess
news
there was
lately, dude,
video and she was
is-
talking like in a British accent or something. I don't know.
I'm saying, dude, I think she has completely fallen off.
I feel bad for her. That
Yeah.
chick had it rough.
She did,
But
man.
again, like
Child
that's
star.
kind of, as weird as it is, that's kind of the same thing that he could be looking into with all of the pressure and stuff that comes with what's going on in his life with being the next best thing to come out of the NBA. He's supposed to be this unicorn type player. No offense to Kristaps Porzingis, but I think Wembanyama is the next unicorn.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Jokic is the unicorn, and Wembanyama has a chance to be a Jokic. But yeah, we'll see what happens, man. It's
Yeah, it sucks because I was looking forward to seeing him in the rest of the summer league, but it's all right.
I was going to
because-
watch a summer league game.
Yeah. Now we're just gonna have to wait until the regular season, and that's when it's gonna matter because then he's actually playing with real players.
And real quick homerism. I know that the Nuggets have lost 2 games, but
Peyton Watson's been doing good.
and Hunter, is it Hunter Tyson?
I can't remember.
He was our 3rd pick.
Yeah.
I heard he's doing really good.
Yeah, I've been listening to the Zach By, but yeah, one of them. Watson's been playing good. That's all I've taken from it.
Yeah, and Watson, is one of those guys who is probably going to have to step up. And I think one of these rookies is going to play a role.
Oh yeah, I think they'll be like Christian
Brown's
Brown,
going to be obviously moved into a little bit more of a
Bruce Brown type role. I think.
I don't know if it's going to be that much. We'll see what happens, man.
We'll
Malone's
see. He got
wild,
a lot
dude.
of he got a lot of
Malone's
play
wild.
time last year, man. He did. Yep.
I mean,
But it was cool to
at the parade, Malone was hammered saying he loves Christian Brown. So
He was.
who
hammered,
knows?
dude. I love
He
it.
also said Bruce Brown's coming back, and that was
You know what I'm
survey
really excited-
says that was a lie.
Yeah, you can't believe what they say after they win a championship.
Well, $21-something million speaks a lot louder than the 7-7 that the Nuggets could have given them.
I would have taken that too.
Where should we go next, Chadley?
Well, once we find it, we're gonna get a good soundbite that's like vroom vroom, and then we're gonna go to F1.
Let's roll into the F1.
Where
Do you
it
want
may
to take
sound
this
like a rerun. Yeah, just
Okay.
it may say if someone just tuned in and skipped forward to
You could
this
think
part
this
of
was
it,
the last 6 episodes.
you would have thought, yeah, it would have been the last 6 because surprise, surprise, Max Verstappen wins again.
Yeah, and this race was wild, man. Obviously, he had the pole again, so he's starting in first. And the beginning of this race, we'll mention it, is the British GP.
Yep.
I think it's at Silverstone.
Yep.
So you have Lando Norris. It's basically McLaren's home court, if you will.
Okay.
So McLaren gets the second and third pole. So Lando Norris and Oscar Pistorius both had second and third place. And I don't know what happened, but Verstappen, I don't know if he missed the timing or what. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if he was just like, I'm going to let these guys lead for a couple laps because they can get, it's
after
their...
last week where he was like, let me just get the fastest lap, it seems like he's toying with
I
these
sent
guys.
you that video. It's nuts.
It was
dude.
awesome.
It's
yeah.
nuts.
I
He's
meant
like,
to say we should post it. We
Oh,
really should.
Yeah. We mentioned it last week, and it's just like, he's just like, they're like, no, you're fine. We don't need to pit. And he's like, we have like a 27-second lead. And they're like, okay.
Yeah. And then he
gets new
the
tires
fastest
and he
lap.
fucking gets the fastest lap. But this week, like I said, it literally would not surprise me if that was his thinking. It's just like, let's let these guys lead.
Yeah.
But he did kind of slip coming out of the start. So Lando and Oscar overtake him. They did a cool little move, overtake him. They lead for a few laps. I don't remember how many exactly. I think it might have been like 5 or so. And then I think it was 5 because the DRS is not allowed to be activated until after the second lap. And the DRS is basically you can open your wing. Your wing's like this, and then like it'll open and you can gain. Like Red Bull for some reason has the fastest DRS, and Lando was doing everything he could, and as soon as Verstappen went to the DRS, dude, he just whoa, and it was like right on Lando's ass. And you're like, okay, it's just a matter of time until he overtakes him, and then he literally just is like
right around him
and went around him, and you're like, okay, so what's the rest of the race going to be? Because Verstappen, once he's in the lead, dude, that Red Bull car, I mean, don't get me wrong, Verstappen is probably going to go down. Much like Nikola Jokic, we're looking at rarefied air in terms of like this guy is probably going to take, might win the most F1 races in history at the rate he's going right now. And as soon as he takes over, it's basically like, okay, what's the race is done now in terms of first. So what's the rest of the pack going to be? And it was a really good race. It came down to some tire things that happened later in the race. You can use medium, hard, soft tires. Most people were on the medium to hard tires, or a few were on soft to begin the race. And then at the end of the race, like I said, Verstappen, actually Lando Norris did eat up some time on. This was one of their closest races in terms of timing. Let me see here. Verstappen won by 3.8 seconds.
Wow, that's
which
not too big of a
is a
lead.
pretty small gap in comparison to the normal 13, 14, 20s. So the McLaren car, like even Hamilton at the end of the race, like I don't know how many laps are left. It was like in the 40s. It was a 52-lap race. They made the crazy decision to go to hard tires, and everybody was like, whoa, that's not like, because it takes a while for those hard tires to heat up. It's like they say on average 1 to 2 laps before they heat up. And they're like, that could fucking kill him.
Yeah.
And Hamilton was able to catch up, but as soon as those tires got warm, Hamilton was at the end of the race. He's like, that fucking McLaren car was like a race car. He's like, there was no catching it, which is funny to say that when Verstappen's just so far that far ahead. And you're like, yeah, the second place car is a fucking rocket. We have no chance to catch him. And it's just like, holy shit.
Well, it just goes to show you he's in a different league.
Yeah, but it's those strategy things I think a lot, like, and that's what I'm starting to get into is the strategy of this stuff is like the pitting and like when you're gonna do it, the tires,
the
like
mechanics,
all
the
of the shit.
science
There's
of
so
it.
much shit to it. And I'm like, wow, man, this is super like
Yeah.
in depth. If you haven't yet, go watch an F1 race.
I was really bummed because I really made an effort to try to watch
They
it.
start
but,
early.
Yeah, it was because it was in London or around London. in British.
London.
I planned on mowing the yard, and then I was going to tune into it.
It started at like 7.
Yeah.
No, I think it started at like 8.
Yeah,
It was
well,
a later one.
No, I think it was because it started at 8. But when I saw it, I saw 10 Eastern time. I forgot that it was Eastern time.
You got to do
So by the time I got done mowing the yard, it was already over with.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty cool. We were gonna mention it later, but let's just Lando Norris, man, he won it in his home country, and I saw a video of him celebrating on the podium afterwards, and he was having a ball of a time.
If you
man.
get on the podium, you fucking spray everybody with champagne.
And then Verstappen was celebrating too. It just could see that there's no like animosity in between these guys.
And the crazy thing, so that's his 8th win this year. That's the 10th straight this year for Red Bull, and their 11th straight in total. They tied the record, which McLaren set in, I believe it was 1988. So, which is crazy that McLaren, in the same day that Red Bull ties their record of most wins by, a constructor team.
Yeah.
They also have a really good race, which McLaren has been struggling for years. If you watch the Drive to Survive, McLaren's like middle of the pack. So for them to be up on the podium all of a sudden, that's huge. I think there's that mid-season break where everybody is allowed to kind of tune the cars. I think Mercedes and McLaren have definitely taken advantage of that the most, as they have now started to sniff the tail of Red Bull.
And it was cool that I saw that Lewis Hamilton said he was happy for his old team to finish that far. It's not like it's like, oh, fuck those guys.
I think the last time they got on the podium there was with him.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and I think he only got second. I don't think he won it, but crazy.
It's awesome. So when is the next F1 race? Did you see that in any of the...
I did not write that down. That is probably something we should just always do.
I know, because we cover it pretty much
it.
each week. It is July 23rd,
so 2 weeks.
Hungarian
Or no, is that this weekend? Dude, what
July
day is it?
23rd is...
That's next weekend.
Next weekend,
okay.
Yeah. So that is
Hungarian.
Hungarian. Whoa, that's cool.
Ooh.
Nice.
They're hungry over there.
Dude, they're stupid. I dig it. Let's move into some fighting.
Yeah, let's move into it. Let me give you
Hit it,
a little
Chris.
bit of this.
Let's get it on!
That's right, people. Mills Lane just said, let's get it on. Unfortunately, this week, I did not watch any of the UFC, so we're going to let Chadley take the reins on this one.
So I'm going to recap UFC 290, probably one of the best fight cards in quite some time. We had 4 fights going through the prelims, early prelims, and the main card that finished under a minute. Oh, shit. That's
Foul
funny.
ball in the balls. Sorry.
4 knockouts that finished under a minute. I mean, we saw finishes and submissions across this entire fight card. It was super entertaining. If you listened last week, I went 1 for 3 for my picks. I told you that I went with my heart. I didn't want to just go with my analytic pick.
Never go with your heart.
Yeah, and it did not pay out because Alexander Volkanovski, like we expected, dominated that fight. I mean, I got to hand it to Yair. I mean, he threw some kicks, made it tough for Volkanovski, but then I think in the 3rd or 4th round, I can't quite remember right now, Yair went through another kick, and then Volkanovski popped him and put him down, and then just his ground and pound. It's just so nuts because he has, nobody knows Volkanovski, who is now, I would say, second maybe is the best featherweight of all time. Jose Aldo. Oh man, I can't get that word out. Jose Aldo had 8 title defenses. This is now Volkanovski's 6th, I believe.
Okay.
So he's definitely right now, and he did move into.
Who's the guy he was talking to after the fight?
That was Ilya Topuria. He just won a couple weeks ago in a fight night.
Yeah, I saw that he was like, I know you're undefeated, but I'm coming for that 0, which is super cool.
And I went down to Volkanovski defeats him too, because what I was going to get at is people don't know Volkanovski, he had a history in rugby. That's where he actually got started in sports. And you could see it when he just would take Yair down. I mean, he has like running back type legs.
Yeah.
He's just so strong, and it's crazy.
Those fucking rugby dudes are just a whole nother
To me, it's the toughest sport.
Yeah.
It is the toughest sport, hands down. Those guys are brutal. They don't wear pads.
Most of them don't wear helmets. A few of them do wear those, like, and it's just a padded thing.
Yeah, and you just got to tape up your ears because you'll get cauliflower ear, and your ear will.
Did you say cold flour?
Cauliflower.
Cauliflower? Cauliflower?
Cauliflower.
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 Whatever.
It's dude. I'm still speaking in British terms, and still in the British Grand Prix. Cauliflower. That's what it is.
You got that mother cauliflower. You know what I mean? What? Cauliflower. You know what I mean?
Give me some cauliflower.
Cauliflower.
Collard greens, man. Some collard greens. That's where I was going with it. But dude, he's a tough motherfucker. He can't be beat. I really thought maybe this might be the fight, but yeah, he dominated Yair. And then in the co-main event, Brandon Moreno, this was maybe the fight of the year. If you get a chance to go back and rewatch this card, watch. If there's any fight to watch,
I need to
watch
find
this
out.
one.
There's got to be a way. Not nefariously, of course.
No,
to
but I
watch reruns of these.
Like
fights.
I said, you might have to. It's normally just a month.
Is there a UFC Fight Pass? You can get like a free fucking
Fight Pass
7-day.
Yeah, it's $10 a month, but I'm not sure if you get the pay-per-view right away.
That's stupid.
But on ESPN Plus, they do.
Damn
post
you, Dana White.
Yeah. About a month afterwards. And yeah, this fight was insane. I mean, Brandon Moreno was picking this guy apart. The only reason Pantoja won it was because of his takedowns. Moreno just didn't have a good enough takedown defense, but Moreno's boxing, I mean, it was just incredible. I mean, he was just popping Pantoja in the head with the jab over and over again. And I didn't realize it, but they said during the commentary that Pantoja had never been finished. And you can clearly see why. This dude's tough as fucking nails, man.
A head like a toolbox.
Yeah, just an iron chin. I mean, he couldn't be knocked out. It was super impressive because Moreno was landing all kinds of shots that normally would knock out anybody else or put them on their ass. And the decision ended up going to Pantoja, but Dana said we could possibly see a rematch for this. And you got to think about this stat. I'm glad I remembered this. Moreno, in that fight, that was his sixth fight, sixth in a row for the title. That means 5 rounds. That means all lights on you. Co-main event or main event. I mean, this guy rises to the occasion. Talk about the Mexican type of fury that, it's guys like Diego Sanchez and Clay Guida, some of those Mexican fighters in the past, like, brought to fruition, and Moreno is living it. Yeah. I mean, and he broke his arm. He broke his arm and still kept fighting.
And his fucking orbital bone.
He broke his orbital bone.
And they showed his arm break, and I thought, I was like, it's just a fracture. No, his shit's fucking broken.
And when I watched the fight, you couldn't even tell. Sometimes when these guys get injured, they don't use like that arm or that leg.
You know, I see when a guy breaks his hand and he just stops using it. Yeah, but to have your fucking arm, like, his arm's literally broken, like, right here. Like, like the bone is broken right here, and he just keeps fighting. That's
I couldn't believe it, man. To me, I knew by the 5th round that if Moreno didn't finish him, that he probably was going to lose, but I still was super satisfied with this. And I've said it before, and I'll keep saying it, that this is exactly why I love USC. It's different than football or in the NBA, where when I got a team that I'm rooting for is going to lose, I'm super fucking bummed out. I hate how much I've got invested into it. But when it's in the UFC, if I get a good fight and I got a fighter that I want to win and they still go out there and lay it all on the line, I'm satisfied. It is so entertaining. And for these guys to go out there and do this and just put their bodies on the line and their life, basically, there's nothing better. I love it, man. Moreno and Pantoja, rewatch that fight.
Yeah, I would like to. I was super bummed that I ended up fucking falling asleep because I wanted to watch it. I knew it was going to be a good card, and of course.
Yeah, you'll see it. Don't worry, man. It'll be on ESPN Plus soon. Just cover this one real quick because it's going to lead into a title fight here, I think, in a couple months. This is the one that I got right. Dricus du Plessis.
Oh yeah,
did
I
win.
Really wanted to bring this up because it got awkward there.
It did. I think Izzy was trying to bait him. a little bit.
No, he was like, I can there's nothing you can say to what I'm about to say to you, and I'm gonna hold this over you the whole entire time until I fuck you up.
Well, Brendan Shaw brought up a good point. It's like, when
Really, he did.
Yeah, I know. Most times I don't like Brendan Schaub's takes, but he did because he is a good UFC analyst, and I guess not like official, but he just gives his own opinion. But anyway, Izzy is a guy that when he was a kid moved from Africa, Nigeria to New Zealand, and if people don't know, New Zealand is pretty much 95% white.
Yeah.
And when he got there, he took
Maori.
Yeah, or that type.
Yeah.
Asian Pacific.
Yeah,
is a good way to
Pacific
put it.
Islander.
Yeah.
However you want to put it. Yeah,
right.
But yeah,
The Rock.
The Rock, yes, it's the best. He
Right.
is there shining.
So
light.
he faced tons of ridicule, and he was made fun of for his entire life just for not being, you don't look like us, because he was black. And so he was like, no, I'm African. And so because Dreykus is a white South African, where in South Africa, it is basically the England of Africa, where a lot of white people live in South Africa.
Case in point, Duplessis.
So, yeah, exactly. And so because he's given this fuel to Israel, Shab made a point that's like, why would you do that, man? You are giving him fuel.
Well, and it's an argument that no white guy can ever fucking...
It's stupid,
You
man.
can't win that, you know? Like, there's no fucking way you can win this argument.
No
you
doubt.
Just started a battle you can't win,
You can't.
unfortunately.
And, I mean, you give extra motivation to a guy like Izzy, I think you're going to end up unconscious. I'm afraid of that. But, I mean, I'm super excited for it because Dreykus is a guy that is very entertaining. He's super strong. When I re-listened to the episode yesterday, I did say, I was like, he's going to run through Whitaker, and that's exactly what he did. He put a takedown on him that made it was a judo throw that looked like Ronda Rousey, like ragdolled Whitaker. And Whitaker is a guy that, like I said, hadn't lost to anybody not named Izzy since 2014. So to lose like that, man, that's
and
a huge win.
We talked about it last week. At one point, he was like that, the next like light heavyweight phenom, you know? And then Izzy happened, and then it kind of just ended his career more or less.
Man. Yeah, and he could not get past Izzy.
Poor guy.
So, damn good card. Probably in like a month or so, it'll be on ESPN Plus. Like I said, go watch Moreno and Pantoja. Yeah, it was stupid. I gotta sign in.
You gotta put your birthday in.
Your birthday. We gotta put your DirecTV login. Is what we gotta do.
Shit.
I use it for everything,
Thanks,
man.
Mom and Dad.
Yeah, dude, I use it all the time. But okay, let's move on from UFC, and we're gonna segue into something kind of like UFC.
It's basically the same thing, right?
Kind of.
One
it
of
does
them
involve
was
boxing.
a UFC fighter. Until
Big
not
news
too long
came
ago.
out today. Tyson Fury, the heavyweight champion of the world, will fight Francis Ngannou on October 28th. And the big news of this is it'll be a standard boxing fight. It won't be what was rumored that they were going to have, stipulations in it where it's going to be kind of MMA or, short rounds or something like that. But no, it's going to be a regular boxing match. Dude, this is going to be the pay-per-views buys from this is going to skyrocket.
Yeah, I know the pay-per-view buys are going to skyrocket. It just what does this prove? What's the point? Other than for both of them to make a shitload of money.
What do you mean? What's this
you
prove?
have like the best heavyweight boxer ever versus a UFC guy who's, I mean,
Well, okay. First, I'm going to argue that Marvin Hagler is the best heavyweight boxer of all time.
okay, right now is what
Right
I'm
now,
saying.
yes.
Right now, Tyson Fury
Okay.
is the number one heavyweight boxer.
No doubt.
Ngannou is the number one heavyweight mixed martial arts fighter now because he's no longer employed by the UFC.
Yeah.
So it's just like, what does this prove other than both of them are going to make a shitload of money in some weird exhibition fight?
I'm told this is my wheelhouse. Okay, so Francis Ngannou, before he got into MMA in France, that's how he got into MMA was boxing. So he already has a boxing background. What this would prove would be, for one, MMA can transfer over because we've already seen where Conor McGregor didn't make it happen. Anderson Silva,
Adam Silver.
yeah, lost to what I'm going to say is an orchestrated fight with Jake Paul. But we've always seen where MMA can't really transfer over to boxing. But this is going to prove that Francis Ngannou, with that insane power that he has,
Oh,
can
guy's
knock
a
out
fucking
possibly
specimen.
the best technical boxer of all time, the Gypsy King. Because you look at the Gypsy King, he looks like a guy that's probably the best at drinking beer. But he is, when it comes to skill and moving.
He's got that Jokic body.
Yeah.
It just makes sense.
Great example. Fantastic example.
Makes no sense.
But you watch
how
his-
you move like that when you look like that.
His footwork makes him look like he's fucking Chris Brown out there dancing, man, and hitting people. Ooh, I did go there.
Oh,
I did that on the spot. That was pretty good. But that was like last week with that
Dang.
Royal and Loyal. I was like, damn, dude.
Yeah, speaking of
How
which,
the
I meant to
fuck do I
cut
come
that.
on?
Yeah.
That was fucking
Stay
slap.
loyal to the Royal, dude.
Stay
It's still
loyal to the
sticking
Royal,
in my head,
man.
man.
I
It's-
know.
we need to be marketing people
It's
for Crown
insane,
Royal.
dude. We went to school for marketing, and it just didn't work out. We knew we would be good at it.
Yeah,
But
we
we're
went for
marketing this
we
fucking
went for
podcast.
We went for a dying fucking job, I guess.
What, in podcasting?
No, in graphic design.
Oh, yeah, that definitely is true.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, dude, that's what it has to prove is Francis Ngannou can beat Tyson Fury. It's basically power versus skill and technical ability. That's what that's for.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, they're definitely gonna make a lot of money.
Well, that's going to wrap up headlines.
It will.
That's all we've got.
Chris, I want to hear some music.
NHL, we're going to... I mean, it's all going to be in the free agency frenzy, the Fringe free agency frenzy for the penalty box coming up next. There's really not too much NHL headlines really to go over, so we're just going to keep on cruising into the music break.
Damn right.
The FRICKASHINAS are our music break featured band of the month, and the name of this song is essentially, yes. I was just waiting for you to respond to that. That's it. It's essentially yes.
Essentially yes?
Essentially, comma, yes.
Oh,
essentially,
wow.
yes.
That's clever.
It is very clever.
I like that.
So that's what you were going to hear right now, and we will be back shortly. Oh, and we are back. I just hit the smelling salts. I'm feeling alive.
We are ready to go.
Woo! Woo! Chad, we have breaking news. What is it? Tell us
Breaking
about
news.
it. Speaking of which, next week we will have a breaking news soundbite. So until then.
Oh, shit. And that reminds me, we're just going to keep trying to loop onto this and digress. I meant to mention in the NFL segment of headlines, if anybody out there wants to join our Champions Fantasy League, if you have won your fantasy league in the past 2 to 3 years,
we will make some exceptions, but yes.
If you are decent.
We're looking for winners and heavy hitters.
We're not looking for people that's like, oh, I didn't know that player was on bye that week.
No.
We will not handle that.
We will not deal with that.
The best and only the best, okay?
Yeah, that's right.
Come at us. We've got about 4 or 5 spots filled up right now. We need another 5, so please get at us. We're going to be getting this locked down pretty soon.
Yeah, we will. We are having a show meeting at some point this week to get all the details ironed out.
Yep.
And we'll figure out what we are going to be doing it on in terms of apps and all that stuff and what the rules are going to be. And then we will be contacting people. So if you want to be involved, please reach out to the show or reach out to either one of us personally, and we will get you involved right away.
Okay, now let's get to this breaking news. Right during the musical break, I got an update from ESPN. NBA approves rule changes on coaches challenge and flopping.
Oh, it's happened.
Oh, LeBron.
It only took a few summer league games for them to be like, yeah, we got to do it.
Yeah, this is the right thing to do. I bet LeBron is crying right now. My acting coach is going to have to get fired now.
How am I going to get all these points?
How am I going to get to the free throw line? Oh, my God. Cry me a fucking river, LeBron.
Yeah, and he will. We always know he will cry.
We know he does, yeah. Okay, so to get to the logistics of it real quick, the NBA's Board of Governors approved 2 rule changes that will go into effect next season. 1, a second coach's challenge if the first is successful, and an in-game flopping penalty during its annual meeting here during the league's Las Vegas Summer League. Both rule changes had been unanimously recommended to the Board of Governors by the league's competition committee, a group made up of players, union representative, coaches, and governors, executives, and referees, to be implemented next season. This is fantastic because I got tired of seeing guys like LeBron barely get touched and act like they got stabbed.
Well, the only part I was hoping they would just make it happen this season, but next season, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, whatever.
You can only do so much.
Wouldn't that be next season? When they say next season would
it
be
makes
next
me
season.
feel like we're already in this season, which makes me feel like it's next season.
I don't know. I feel like that's why they were testing out in Summer League was to go into effect. When you say next season, if they meant the next years,
season,
they would say 24-25.
Well, we'll see. I mean, hopefully it does, because wasn't there another addendum to that about the challenges?
Oh,
or did you go into that already?
Yeah, I just kind of briefed over it, but yeah, basically, right now the rule was you're allowed 1 challenge per game.
That's it.
And it sucks
Win or
because
lose.
a lot of times there'd be a very controversial call, maybe in the second quarter or even the first. And it's now like the NFL where you get 2 challenges. If the first is successful, then you get the next one.
Yeah. Which, it's the way it should be. If you win, you should continue to be able to win.
It's just
like,
the way
what
it
are we
is.
doing?
Yeah, because the referees get shit wrong. We've all seen it.
Jesus.
Chris.
Yes.
Let's get into the penalty box.
Let's do it. It's time for the penalty box, the Fringe free agency frenzy version of the penalty box. And we're going to do the same thing like we did last week, kind of cruise by the teams alphabetically. We're going to start with major signings. Some teams didn't really have technically major signings in some people's eyes. So if that is the case, we're going to be looking at the long-term deals, none of these 1 to 2 year deals that ran rampant this year in the NHL. I think we talked about before we started recording, there's like over $500 million worth of signings throughout the NHL, which is a lot in terms of the NHL when you consider the fact that most of these guys make like a third of what most major sports teams make in terms of big market players. We're mainly hitting the main guys, the big deals, the main movers and shakers. So we're going to get started with the Anaheim Ducks. They signed Alex Killorn, a left winger, 4 years, $25 million. So yeah, that's definitely going to be one of those guys who's going to make a difference on the Ducks for the next little bit of time. He spent his entire 11-year career with the Tampa Bay Lightning, posted 27 goals and 37 assists in 82 games last year. This guy has produced, and Anaheim is looking to, make the most of him on this $6.25 million annual deal. So that's what's going to be the big signing for the Anaheim Ducks. Chad, do you have any thoughts on that one?
It's probably a good move because the Ducks were one of the worst teams in the league last year.
Yes,
so they need all the help they can get.
We are going to move into the Arizona Coyotes, who are still playing in a college arena. So they've got more problems than just people to sign, but they do sign a left winger, Jason Zucker, to a 1-year, $5.3 million deal. I know we said we weren't going to bring up a lot of these 1-year deals, but when it is for $5 million, that is a pretty significant signing. So yeah, he joins the Coyotes on a 1-year deal. He played 78 games with the Pittsburgh Penguins last season, his 4th with the club, scoring 27 goals and adding 21 assists. We'll see what he does for the Coyotes. The Coyotes need all the help they can get as they try to turn that franchise back into some form of a winning franchise, as they are in the doldrums of the NHL as of late. So let us move into the Boston Bruins. The Boston Bruins didn't really have any major signings in terms of what would be considered a major signing. When you usually win the Stanley Cup or get close to it, or are one of the best teams in the league, there's not too much you can do because you're already doing pretty damn well at this point. In terms of the signings, they did sign center Matthew Poitras to a 3-year, $2.61 million deal. That's $870,000 annually. He was a prospect, and they are signing at an entry-level deal, so obviously they have a lot of faith in this guy becoming one of those people who are going to be one of the mainstays on one of their lines in the future. Let us move into the next team. Oh, the Buffalo Sabres. They definitely signed a former Av, Ryan O'Reilly. And why isn't this happening?
What's happening?
Oh, just the internet. You know how the internet goes. Oh no, maybe they didn't sign Ryan O'Reilly. I lied to you. I'm sorry. Ryan O'Reilly left the Sabres, I think. Yeah, they have no major signings according to TSN. So we'll go to the all signings, and we're going to pick one of these guys. The longest one they have is 3 years. That is Connor Clifton, a defenseman, making an annual average salary of $9.99 million. He's 28 years old. He was an unrestricted free agent. So, yeah, that's all for the Buffalo Sabres. I mean, they're also a team that hasn't been doing too good as of late. So they're trying to get back into things. Let's go to the major signings of the Calgary Flames next. No major signings for them. Oh, this is going to be good podcasting right here.
Let's get to the next big one.
Yegor Sharangovich, which is just a fun name to say for the Calgary Flames. 2 years, $6.20 million. Yeah, he's a 25-year-old right winger, $3.10 million per year for those 2 years. We are just going to move to, if they don't have major signings, we're just going to keep going because it's just so much, man. Oh, moving to the Carolina Hurricanes, they have 3 major signings, Chad. So we're going to run through all 3 of these. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
What are you Googling over there? Hopefully entertaining things for the
just
show.
Scores.
Oh, for what?
Just different scores.
Cool. I like that about you. You're just always attaining information.
Always.
So the major signings for the Carolina Hurricanes: Michael Bunting, left winger, 3 years, $13.5 million total, so $4.5 million per year. Then you have Dmitry Orlov, defenseman. That one's 2 years, total of $15.5 million, so $7.75 million total. 31-year-old unrestricted free agent. And then a big signing for them, goalie Frederick Anderson, 2 years, $6.8 million. That's $3.4 million per year. And Anderson, I believe, comes from where was he playing last year? God damn it.
Calm it down.
Calm it down over there. Oh, no, he was with the Carolina Hurricanes last season. Son of a bitch. See, these guys, there's just so many fucking hockey dudes. It's wild. Like, all of these guys. Chicago Blackhawks, no major signings there. We'll move into the Avalanche, who also have no major signings. They just brought back a lot of guys that they need. They did have a couple lower-level free agent guys that they signed that just, they don't really have that much cap room with paying the main guys what they're paying them right now. Columbus Blue Jackets, no major signings. Dallas Stars, they did sign Matt Duchene, which is a little bit of a bummer. I was kind of hoping that he would come back to the Avalanche, but he did not, unfortunately, and he ended up signing with the Stars for 1 year, $3 million. I think he was just with the Sabres, if I'm not mistaken. But no, the Predators. I'm sorry, same colors, same dang colors.
News on the third NHL draft. Matt Duchene.
Look at that. I just muted it.
Okay.
No, I'm afraid to mute it right now because I don't know if it's gonna mute all sound. So I just muted the videos that keep popping up. So sorry for those little interruptions there.
Makes it real.
It does, yeah. This is happening on the fly as we go. So let's move on to the next team, Detroit Red Wings. They sign a few, just one major signing. Right winger Alex DeBrincat, 4 years, $31.5 million, $7.88 million per year. They trade for him from the Red Wings. They also... the Senators trade DeBrincat to the Red Wings. Sorry, I misread that. For Kubalik and Sabrongo and 2 draft picks. Chad, what do you know about Kubalik and Sabrongo?
I don't know anything.
Edmonton Oilers, they have no major signings, so we're going to keep cruising along into the Florida Panthers. Also, no major signings to note. Los Angeles Kings, they have a couple. Anze Kopitar, center, 2 years, $14 million. That's a pretty big signing. Any guy who's making over $7 million or close to $7 million a year is going to be a pretty productive guy. Anze Kopitar is coming from... he was with the fucking Kings. I'm sorry. Oh, my God. 2-year contract extension. Oh, man. We should have prepared more for this, Chad.
I just don't know much about hockey.
Yeah, I know. And I try to, and there's just so much. Like I said, there was so much free agency signings happening in hockey. The other major signing for the Kings, this is a huge one. Pierre-Luc Dubois, 8 years, $68 million. That is a huge NHL contract. They traded for him from the Winnipeg Jets. It is a sign and trade deal, so they are looking forward to him being a part of the team for the foreseeable future. Foreseeable future. The next major signing, Montreal Canadiens, Sean Monahan, center, 1 year, $1.99 million, and also Cole Caulfield, left winger. This is a huge one. 8 years, $62.8 million. Cole Caulfield gets that huge extension. That's a huge extension. 8 years. That's insane in the hockey.
Yeah, that's kind of nuts for hockey.
That's a big old signing right there. So yeah, that's cool for them. Definitely going to be looking forward to his production in the future years. Let's move into the Nashville Predators. The big signing for them was Ryan O'Reilly. They re-signed him, I think. That's what it was. 4 years, $4.5 million. Future or former Av player. he was part of the original core of the Avalanche. It just ended up not working out. Him and Matt Duchene both ended up getting traded away after Nathan MacKinnon came onto the scene. Both guys that, would love to have had back on the Avalanche, but unfortunately, they have no monies. So let's move into the New Jersey Devils. They get Timo Meier on an 8-year, $70.4 million contract. That's a huge one. Timo Meier is one of the big up-and-coming guys right now. He is now signed through the 2030-31 season. That's huge. $8.8 million annually, with the deal starting at $12 million this upcoming season and winding down to $7.2 in the last year. He was acquired at the trade deadline and would resign with the Devils after playing with the young team and seeing its potential. New Jersey posted a 52-22-8 mark this past season for 112 points, a 49-point difference from the previous season. We talked about New Jersey being one of the hugest turnarounds from basically picking number 1 overall to being one of the better teams in the league. So that is good for New Jersey. We have a couple more left. Let's get into the Rangers. Keandre Miller, 2 years, $7.74 million. That's a $3.87 million per year. Chad, feel free to jump in anytime.
Well, I know the Kraken re-signed Cale Fleury to a 2-year, $1.6 million deal.
You got one of them. So that's cool. Eunice Korpisalo goes to the Ottawa Senators, 5 years, $4 million per year, $20 million cap hit. Let's move into the Philadelphia Flyers. They have no major signings to
Cam
speak
York,
of.
2 years, $3.2 million.
To the Flyers?
Yeah.
Oh, so look at you go. You're on with me now.
And then Noah Crates, 2 years, That's a lot of money. $5.25 million for 2 years.
Yeah. Oh, I see where you're at now. You're right here along with me. Look at you go. We could both have it pulled up and act like we both know what we're talking about. Let's move into the Pittsburgh Penguins.
I'm going off of a legal pad, man.
Oh, I like it. They have a few signings in terms of huge ones. Not a lot other than Ryan Graves, 6 years, $27 million. Defenseman. So they're looking to bolster up the defensive side of things to get a little bit more intense there. Let's see what else we got going here. Let us move into the San Jose Sharks. Major signings.
Philip Zadina agreed to a 1-year, $1.6 million deal.
Okay. We can just go off the recent ones right here. We got Nathan Todd Center, 2 years, $775,000 per year there. That's the beauty of being a hockey player. You get beat up the most, and you get no money.
Very little.
Yes, indeed. What's the next one, Chad? Take me there.
The Habs. Have you already covered them?
Nope. Oh my God, that's you
me.
now.
Yeah. Trying to watch the All-Star game. It didn't fucking work.
Sucker.
The Habs, Mitchell Stevens, 1-year contract. I don't have the money for it, but yeah, that's who they signed.
Oh, okay. All right. You already hit the Kraken. Let's do the Blues. Major signings there. Really none to speak of. Lightning. All signings here. Let's pick one of the big ones. We've got 3 years. Connor Sheary, left winger, $6 million total. Making $2 million a year. Not too bad. I wouldn't mind making $2 million a year to play a game.
Yeah, that'd be all right.
That'd be pretty cool. The Maple Leafs sign. Let's go. David Camp, center, 4 years, $9.6 million total.
That is a big contract.
That's not too bad. We just know the money at this point. We don't really know too
4
much
years
about the
is
players.
quite a bit
That's
for
good.
NHL.
You're taking a good, you better be good. You son of a bitch. You already did the Habs, right?
Yep.
Okay. Let's go to the Golden Knights. Not too much happening for the Golden Knights when you win it all. There's really only 3 things you can do. They did get Ivan Barbashev signed 5 years, $25 million total. You're looking at $5 million a year. That is a hell of a good deal for a left winger who was quintessential to that team, winning all of it last year. We've got 2 more. The Washington Capitals. Let's see who we got. Martin Fehervary.
I think you got it right.
For Hervery. 3 years, $8.03 million. And then finally, the Winnipeg Jets. Dylan Sandberg, defenseman, $2.8 million, 2 years. Yeah, so that's going to wrap it up for that rip-roaring time of podcasting there.
I love it, man. We got hockey fans out there.
Yeah. Hopefully they don't fucking rake us over the coals for that one.
It
was a little rough, guys. Yeah, if not, fuck them.
Hey, what is the name of this podcast?
It is Fringe Fanatics.
We are on the fringe of all the news.
That's true.
So
that's a good way to put it.
That's
we don't know all of it, but we know some of it.
We got it covered. Well done, Christopher.
Yeah, that one was rough. We've had a few of those where I'm like, I've been talking for way too long with not much happening here, but we made it through it. It was a little bit of a rough go, but
you know who would be ready to go to Hooters right now?
I think I know who that would be.
Other than me?
We could all go to Hooters. They got good wings.
They do have good wings.
But I think you're talking about a man named John Daly.
I am.
Yeah, and he would definitely grip it and rip it right now, and that's probably what he's gonna do as we hear John Daly hit it hard, man.
I hit it hard, man. So far, man. No laying up, no holding back. Ain't afraid of nothing, it's a natural fact. I hit it long, man. Till it's gone, man. Keep taking chances, live it large. I hit it hard.
And we are back for the final time of episode 42 of Fringe Fanatics. If you've made it this far, please like and follow us on whatever you're watching or listening to us on, and make sure to rate us 5 stars if you haven't yet. Please like, share, subscribe, and follow us on all things social media. This week, the DDOE is a little bit of a somber one, but it's going to...
But it is on a good note because that's why we bring it up, because it's somebody that is taking it in stride. The DDOE, the Daily Dose of Excellence this week, goes out to Mr. Greg Duncan. He's not a celebrity. He's not a sports athlete or anything like that. He is my wonderful girlfriend's dad, and I bring him up because... he is battling lung cancer right now, and the reason he gets this award is because every day he's in good spirits.
Yeah.
Right now, that's where Hannah's at. A few weeks ago, I mentioned, we got some tough family news, and that's why I've been batching it up a lot lately, is because she's been back with the fam. I will be joining her in a few weeks, and Chris is going to be having a fun episode.
Batching it on the show.
Yeah, he's going to be maybe bringing on a guest or doing a solo episode. But either way, that's what's been going on in my life. And I just want to give him this the respect that he deserves, because I couldn't imagine. I just think that I would... Shit, I don't know how I'd react. We never know. And... he's just been in good spirits. He's a guy that is really good at giving shit, and a smart ass through and through, and staying true to that. And he works at the Ford company, Ford manufacturer there in Missouri, and he has a lot of friends that showed out for him, giving him food, a lot of support, and I wanted to bring this up for the simple fact, the big reason why, if anybody out there right now is listening to this and they think, oh, man, I've had a shitty-ass day, I stubbed my toe, or, damn, it was a bad day at work, my boss got on to me, or anything like that, that's not shit.
Yeah.
Until you're going through chemo treatment or radiation, then you're really having a bad day.
Yeah, staring mortality in the face.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so for him to go through that every day and still have a smile on his face and have a good time with all of his daughters and his family members and, still be in good spirits, I give him the daily dose of excellence for just being the great dad that he is and a great role model. So I just want to give him a big shout out, and needless to say, everybody keep him in your thoughts and prayers, and I know that he's going to pull out of it, and I'm just wishing him the best. So shout out to you, Mr. Greg Duncan.
Yeah, Greg, we hope nothing but the best for you, and all of our thoughts, prayers, as shitty as that is to say, positive vibes, good energy is heading your way. We want nothing but the best for you and Hannah's family, and we hope that you can overcome this, and you got the attitude from the sounds of it to do it. I mean, I think that's one of those things when shit hits the fan like that, if you don't have some sort of kind of go with the flow, take everything in stride, roll with the punches type feeling, you don't really, you don't handle it well. So
yeah.
I think being able to do that is something that's probably going to benefit him more in the long run, especially to making sure that he's got everything he needs to keep on trucking, man.
I think so. Yeah. He's the right guy for it, and I think he's going to make cancer his bitch.
Yeah.
Yep.
And on that note, fuck cancer.
That's right.
Yeah. We've all probably at this point known somebody, either, we've brought this up before, whether it be immediate family or close circle of friends that have dealt with cancer.
Yep.
And it's a shitty thing. And hopefully one day we don't have to deal with it just taking everybody away.
That would be nice.
But until then, we stand with everybody in that fight. And we hope nothing but the best and speedy recoveries for all.
That's right.
And hopefully all the positive energy we're sending out does some good. On that note, though,
this is to you, Greg.
Greg,
Much
to you.
respect to you. I'll be with you soon, and I'm looking forward to beating your ass in pool.
There you go.
Yep.
He's probably still going to kick your ass pool, but
I'm not going to feel sorry for him. I know that.
Cheers, guys. We appreciate you.
Thanks for listening. Love you, buddy.
Oh, yes. We love each and every one of you
You're not
that
gonna
has.
say it back? Are you,
What?
You're not.
Oh, you were saying it to me? I thought you were
said,
saying it to him.
I love you, buddy. Well,
Oh,
I do.
shit.
love
I
you,
wasn't
Greg.
looking. I was taking my shot.
I
Son
get
of a
it, man.
bitch. I
You gave me
ruined it.
shit about it one time, so I'm going to make sure I give you
That's
shit.
fair.
Man.
I
That's
love
all.
you.
Love is love, man.
Yeah, I love you too, buddy.
Yeah.
On that note, guys, if you haven't yet, please go like, share, and subscribe us. Like, share, and subscribe to us on everything. And make sure you tune in next week for episode 43 of Fringe Fanatics. Hopefully, we're going to be back in the swing of things. Things are going to be getting better, as always, on the up and up every week.
We're going to be having new guests on here coming up very soon.
Indeed. Until then, guys, we love you all. We'll see you next week.
Farewell.